Welcome once again to the world as we see it. Okay, welcome to all the family, friends, and enemies, everybody. Today I want to make a comment about the president of Kenya, President William Ruto. You know, President Ruto is sort of an enigma. This guy, sometimes he does things that I consider very, very positive. For instance, he recently made an announcement that he's removing all visa restrictions or all visa requirements for anyone on the African continent traveling to Kenya. I think that's a great thing, because especially the fact that it was followed up like the day or two later by the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, who made the same announcement. So we got two countries now that are saying if you're anywhere on the continent, you can travel to these countries, Rwanda or Kenya, without the requirements of a visa. Because remember, these borders are artificial borders, and they were placed there by the former colonial masters. So it's high time that we remove these borders because they were there to keep Africans separated. That's one step closer to unification. So that was good. But then he turns around and he decides to accept money from the West in order to send police officers from Kenyan police officers to Haiti to fight against the quote-unquote gang problem. Now, you and I both know that when the United States don't like you, you're a gang or you're a terrorist or whatever. They'll find some adjective to describe you and none too positive. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that I'm like, wait a minute, this is good, this is really bad. But sometime last week or sometime this week, a couple of days ago, Prince Charles, King Charles of England, let's call him Charlie. Charlie decided he's going to make a visit to one of the former colonies. He's going to go visit Kenya. Now, we've got the head of a former colonial master, a colonial country, visiting a former colony. And the former colonialists, in this case, Kenya, headed by William Ruto, roll out the red carpet for the former colonial master. Now, Charlie, he's not a young man. So he was around for a large part of the colonial period, the British colonial period in Kenya. His mother was queen and head of state during a large part of this, and especially during the Mau Mau Rebellion. And the Mau Mau Rebellion was simply the people of Kenya struggling to get their freedom. As a result, hundreds of thousands of them were killed just for seeking their freedom. So Charlie should be showing up, you would think, in a state of remorse, a state of humility, to apologize for what England has done to Kenya, in particular, Africa in general, and maybe to follow up that apology with some reparations, right? But to come to Kenya and to receive the red carpet treatment by the people who you used to brutalize, that doesn't make sense to me. There's some type of cognitive dissonance, And that's what I mean about William Ruto. At one moment, he's over here doing something that's highly positive and progressive, and the other minute he's over here acting as though his mind is still colonized. I don't know. But here's the thing. Yesterday, there was a speech by Julius Malema. Those of you who know Julius Malema, he's the head of the EFF, or the Economic Freedom Fighters, a political party in South Africa. Those who don't know about him, you need to find out about him. He's all over YouTube. Go check him out, right? But he was in Kenya for a Pan-African gathering. And even though he was in Kenya, it didn't stop him. See, Julius Malema doesn't mince his words. And like I said, even though he was in Kenya, it didn't stop him from speaking his truth about the actions of the Kenyan president. It just so happened that his truth has to be my truth. I totally agree with him. It may not be your truth. But I'm going to play part of the speech for you. Let us know if you agree with Julius Malema and me, or if you disagree. Right? It's okay. Let us know if you agree with some parts and you disagree with other parts. And while you're doing that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So until the next time, we'll see you here at the world as we see it. Kwaheri. So,
No, if President William Ruto means it, because he said so many things, and I can't locate him these days, because the things he said during election and the things he's doing now are two different things. I don't know. Because I heard him saying we need to do away with the dollar and build our own currency. But his actions are not speaking to anything of doing away with the dollar. The latest being putting a red carpet for a murderer, a person who killed the Kenyan people, coming into this country, receiving a red carpet and being saluted by our own army. This is not a Kenyan army, it's not a colonialist army. The Kenyan army is a product of the Mau Mau rebellion. And those who killed our people in the Mau Mau rebellion cannot be saluted by the same army of the children of those who were killed during Mau Mau rebellion. We have a duty to stay true to the cause. We have a duty to remind the King and Britain of what they did to us. Indeed, he shows no remorse. He says this was bad, it shouldn't have happened. But he runs short of, I apologize, I am sorry. He will never say he is sorry, for because he thinks that his race makes him superior and he's not qualified to apologize to those who are junior to him. We call upon the Kenyan government to be firm and to decide what they want to be. Do they want to be Pan-Africanist, or do they want to be proponents of neo-colonialism? You can't have it both. Only one call must be made, and that call is of Pan-Africanism.